Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Low Carb for Life Zoom community group, where we spend each week between 12 and 1 talking about important topics, some coaching calls, any challenges or wins that you've had for the week. So feel free to join on. The link is in the group description, and I'm here every Thursday between 12 and 1 to answer your questions. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Brueton. I'm an occupational therapist and a metabolic health coach. And you find me here every Thursday on Zoom, also in our Low Carb for Life community WhatsApp group, YouTube, and on Instagram as the Low Carb OT. So September is World Alzheimer's Month, which is a time to raise awareness about dementia and the steps we can take to protect our brain health. Today, I want to share some really important information and hopeful information about cognitive impairment and dementia and the role that lifestyle and metabolic health play in reducing risk and improving outcomes for these clients. Cognitive decline and dementia affect millions of families worldwide and in South Africa. It's not just a medical diagnosis, it can be life-changing for everyone involved. When a loved one develops dementia, families often face emotional stress and heartbreak, watching personality and memories slip away, caregiving responsibilities, which can feel overwhelming and isolating for family members, and extra financial pressure and disrupted daily routine. It's no wonder so many people feel powerless in the face of these conditions. But here's the good news. Cognitive decline is not always inevitable. And research shows that up to a third of people with mild cognitive impairments can revert back to normal cognition if the right steps are taken. Dementia is not always a one-way ticket. Alzheimer's and related dementias often begin in the parietal lobes and the pre-nucleus, parts of the brain that integrate information, help us navigate our environment, and remember different experiences. These areas are especially vulnerable to vascular dysfunction from reduced blood flow and oxygen delivery, inflammation, both systemic and in the brain itself, so brain inflammation, as well as insulin resistance, which makes the brain have difficulty using glucose as an energy source or fuel to power the organs and functions in the brain. And that's really the area that we want to target when we speak about improving metabolic health, to improve cognitive functionings. So this is called the vascular-metabolic root of dementia. In other words, the same processes that cause metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, or heart disease can also cause harm to the brain. And Alzheimer's and dementia are known to also be called type 3 diabetes because it's a glucose impairment in the brain, or it's a difficulty in the way the brain utilizes glucose. Improving metabolic health isn't just about weight or getting your cholesterol numbers down. It's about optimizing your brain's ability to function, adapt, and stay resilient. So what can you do? Well, the research is clear. And the strongest evidence is not in a single pill. It's in a multi-component lifestyle interventions. So let's go through the 5 pillars of brain fitness together. I'm going to just share a picture with you. I'll just open it up here. Where is it now? Yeah. And then we'll discuss that together. So let's go through the 5 pillars of brain fitness. Number 1 is to move daily. Exercise is seen as our 6th vital sign. And if we don't spend time exercising and moving our body, it does cause deterioration and impacts our health and our cognitive functioning. We don't need to run marathons to improve our brain health, though. What we do have to do is aim for about 6,000 brisk steps per day. That's around 30 minutes of walking. We need to add some strength, balance, and posture exercises 2 to 3 times a week. And even small increases in movement can improve blood flow, insulin sensitivity, and white matter integrity for better brain health. We need to eat for brain energy and reduce inflammation in our brains. What we eat, what we put into our mouths to fuel our bodies, directly impacts our brain and our cognitive functioning. So we need to avoid ultra-processed foods, sugar, and refined carbohydrates that cause rapid spikes in our blood glucose, require a lot of insulin, and can cause insulin resistance if eaten in too much. The focus should be on eating whole, nutrient-dense foods, such as vegetables, high-quality animal proteins, and healthy fats. We need to possibly consider therapeutic carbohydrate restriction or low carbohydrate approaches with guidance to improve your metabolic flexibility and provide an alternative fuel in the form of ketones to your brain. The third step is to prioritize your sleep and circadian health. So sleep is the time that the brain has the opportunity to clear out toxins and waste products that have accumulated throughout the day. Sleep is when our brains consolidate memories and restore its networks. But to do this, we need to keep a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, aiming for at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Get morning sunlight exposure. The first thing in the morning, you go outside and you let the morning sunlight into your eyes without sunglasses on, and then limiting bright light and screens at nighttime to prepare your brain for sleep, and also to address any sleep apnea or chronic insomnia if it's present. Brain training exercises are also important to build cognitive reserve and to improve your brain's resilience to aging and disease. This can look like learning a new skill, a language, or playing a musical instrument, playing strategic games or puzzles, logic games, deduction puzzles, chess, Sudoku, and also engaging in mentally challenging work or hobby. The fifth pillar is to stay connected. So human connection is so important, and social isolation is a major risk factor for cognitive decline. To do this, we want to maintain friendships, family ties, and community involvement where possible, volunteer or join a group with shared interests, and combine physical activity with social connection for a double benefit. So going out to play a sport, paddle or tennis, golf, where you're meeting up with other people and have the chance to socialize while doing some movement and physical exercise. There's a few extra considerations that we need to look at when looking at a person with cognitive impairment. So when I would first see somebody that came to see me who complained of some memory or possible cognitive impairments, I would do a cognitive screening assessment such as the MOCA, or maybe something a little bit more high level. If they are still in a productive phase of life, like work, to determine their baseline and to see what exactly, which areas of their cognitive functioning are not working as well. You also want to look at managing your metabolic risk factors, like blood glucose levels, your triglycerides, cholesterol, and vitamin levels. So a blood test might need to be ordered to make sure and check that all of those levels are fine. Things like vitamin D and zinc and magnesium and other minerals like that. Working with your healthcare provider to limit certain medications that may impair your memory. And also addressing toxins, stress, mold, or head injury where relevant, if that was something that has happened in your past. Even small, consistent changes add up over time. Should have stopped sharing that a while back. So the takeaway is clear. It's never too early or too late to act and improve your brain health. Even when you have genetic risks, lifestyle choices can make a measurable difference in reducing your risk of developing Alzheimer's or dementia later in life. If you're concerned about your own memory or cognitive health, or if you're supporting a loved one showing signs of decline, You don't have to navigate this alone. I'm here to help people apply a therapeutic low-carb approach and lifestyle strategies to support your cognitive health and reduce dementia risk. Contact me to book a free discovery call to find out how we can work together, or you can contact me directly via email on info@jenniferbrueton.co.za. And together we can create a personalized plan to protect your brain and your future. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, Low Carb OT, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from learning about the power of lifestyle and metabolic health for cognitive function. Remember that your brain's future health is built on the choices that you make today.